She'll never tell you, she'll never say it out loud. But when desire takes over her body, does all the talking, and I fear not trained to see. You'll miss signals, you'll misread the moment, and worse, you'll chase when you should have let her chase. The truth is brutal, but simple a woman doesn't need to. Say she wants you, her nervous system will. Show it this isn't about looks, it's not about money. It's not even about few words you say. It's about how you carry yourself when you hold the right. From her subconscious slips, and the signals start leaking out of her before she even realizes it today. I'll show you the 6 rawest, most uncontrollable signs that she's turned up, and tuned into. Whether she knows it or no, trust me. By the end of this video, you'll never misread the heat in Harrigan number 1. Her eyes drop, then snap her. Eyes drop, then snap a why away. The eyes never lie not when desire takes control. When a woman is aroused in your presence, her gaze become essential. She wants to look, but doesn't want to be caught. Wants to take you in, but doesn't want to seem obvious. So what does her body do? It betrays her. Her pupils dilate, holds eye contact. Just a second too long, and looks down fast, sharp like her brain. Pulled the emergency brake wide down because evolution hardwired her to signal surrender with that glance. A downward glance is primal. It's a mission. It's a silent you lead. And when she does it without thinking, it's not just shyness. It's arousal hiding band. Etiquette, watch closely. You enter a room. You lock eyes. She glances down, then quickly busies herself with anything nearby, phone, bag, hair. She's not disinterested, processing your presence. Through her instincts, that glance down is the nervous system saying, I feel his energy and I don't know what to do with it. But here's what separates the grounded from the desperate. You don't chase that glance. You don't use it as permission. You don't pounce. You hold your posture. You stay anchored. You let the tension cook her curiosity until she breaks the silence. Because when you stay centered, her glances become longer. Her silence becomes louder. And soon her desire has no place to hide. Number 2, crossed legs, and the power of the pelvic lock. And the power of the pelvic lock when a woman crosses her legs. While talking to you, most people think it's just posture, comfort, style, manners. They have no idea they're looking at a biological lock, a subtle move from her hips. But it's her nervous system screaming one thing: I feel exposed, and I like it more than I want to admit. Let's break this down from the lens of Stoic psychology and primal wiring. The pelvic lock. When a woman becomes aroused, her body starts shifting especially in her lower half. The thighs tighten, the pelvis rolls slightly forward, and the legs. They cross, but not to block you. It's the opposite. She's not defending herself. She's regulating desire. She's creating pressure where she feels tension down there. It's called muscular guarding, and it's real. When you hold, frame, and exude calm presence, you trigger this involuntary reaction. Suddenly feels hyper-aware of her body. She wants control, so she adjusts, crosses, presses. If she's seated, she may squeeze her thighs, subtly shift positions without reason, even bounce her foot slightly from the tension building internally. This isn't just body language, it's biology. Talking out loud and hair swear. Most men blow it, they lean in, they crowd her space, they start talking faster, trying to confirm what they just sensed. But that kills the polarity. A Stoic man does none of that, watches, observes, stays rooted and indoing, so he magnifies her internal chaos. More calm you are, the more undiminished becomes. Because that crossed leg, it's not rejection, it's containment. Her energy is folding inward. And if you keep your frame strong, that tension won't just sit in her legs. It'll explode in her thoughts later when you're no longer there. She'll remember how she fidgeted, how her thighs stayed clenched, how you never even blinked, and in her mind you've come the one who knew without her ever needing to say a word. The tone shift that exposes hidden desire. Number 3, the tone shift that exposes and desire. You don't need to hear the words, you don't need to see a confession, you just need to feel the way she sounds when you're around. Because when she's turned on, when she feels your energy, when your presence makes her heart rate spike just a little too fast, her voice gives her a way she'll talk, but it won't sound the same. it'll get lighter, softer, slower, or even higher depending on how her nervous system processes the tension. It's a survival response. Not consciously control, her throat loosens, her pitch rises, or her words get slightly breathy, because arousal sends energy through her autonomic nervous system. It causes subtle shifts in breathing tempo and tone. Her voice reflects her inner state, and if you're dialed in, if you're centered, watching, not trying to impress, you'll notice the moment it hits in second. She's normal, then suddenly she's lighter, playful, giggly without chaos, or speaking with pauses that seem to hang in the air. Sometimes she'll ask questions she doesn't even care about just to hear herself speak near you. That's her body craving interaction with it, logic, that's subconscious adducti. And what do most men do? They talk faster, they joke louder, they try to match her playfulness, and just like that is out of it, because the moment you lose your tone, she loses her frame. But a Stoic man, he doesn't nearer grounds deeper, he lets her swirl in her vocal rhythm while he remains thinner. And what happens? Her voice drops again, leans in more. She slows down like a woman who doesn't want the moment toned, because when a woman's voice changes in your presence, she's not adjusting to sound cute, she's adapting to your dominance. And if you stay composed, that vocal chemistry turns into unspoken heat. No touching, no flirting, just tension building through the simple sound of her desire, trying to stay hidden. Number 4, when she touches herself, not the way you think. When she touches herself, not the way you think she's talking, you're locked in. But suddenly, she brushes her neck, touches her wrist, plays with her ring, rubs her thighs, pulls at her sleeve, and you wonder, is she just fidgeting? Is Sheberedno, she's regulating her nervous system because your presence is triggering it. Let's get brutally honest. When a woman feels subtle arousal or tension in your presence, her body needs to do something with that energy. But since she can't yet act on it directly, she turns inward, and her hands, they become her relief mechanism. She'll stroke her collarbone, rub her palms, touch her lip, hold her neck, slide her fingers along her leg or thigh, adjust her bra strap under her sweater when it didn't move. Why? Because arousal needs releasing. When the source of the tension you isn't flinching, she turns to the only place she can control, her own body. It's unconscious, automatic, but explosive. If you know what you're looking at, here's the secret. Watch where her fingers go. If they hover near sensitive areas, her throat, inner wrist, thigh smith, you're triggering her pleasure raisins, whether she admits it or not. And the more she touches herself around you, while you stay silent, still composed, the more she's thinking about you in ways she won't say out loud. Others where the real attraction builds. You don't respond, you don't shift, you didn't tease or call it out. You hold eye contact, you maintain your energy, and you let the tension speak for itself. Because when a Stoic man sees a woman touching hers, out of instinct he knows what it means, but he doesn't need to exploit it. Because her doing that is already confession. She's not flirting, she's scoping, she's reacting to your centered masculinity in the only way her body knows how. And if you can remain calm through it, she'll crave the one thing she can't get from herself, your command over her energy. Number 5, her legs move, but she's not going. Her legs move, but she's not going anywhere. Sitting near her, you're in it, touching, you're not even speaking much. But look down, her foot is bouncing, her knee is twitching, her thighs air shifting positions every 30 seconds. And here's what most men don't realize. She's not uncomfortable. She's not bored. She's not trying to leave. She's trying to manage the pressure air building without saying a word. Let's break this down raw. When a woman is turned on, and subtly or deeply, and she's not yet ready to express it out loud, that energy builds in her lower body. It's called psychic agitation, a form of tension, where the body reacts to arousal through movement, especially in areas connected to reproductive or emotional response zones. So when her legs are bouncing, or she's crossing and uncrossing them repeatedly, she's not anxious, she's stimulated. Her brain is working hard to manage the hormonal cascade. Your presence just trigger a dopamine, oxytocin, adrenaline. It's not about escaping, it's about containing. And if you're a Stoic man, present, compensating emotionally, Grounded, you're not reacting to it. You're simply watching it build. That's what makes you dangerous inth. Best way, because most guys would take that moment to lean in crack. A joke treat to break the tension they'd see. It is a signal to do something, but you let the silence expand, you let her squirm a little. You stay relaxed and chirenanx, and that stillness makes her movement even more obvious. Not just to you, but to herself. She notices her leg won't stop. She notices how self-aware she's bumming. And that awareness becomes a feedback loop of attraction and curious as she starts thinking, why am I moving so much? Why do I feel like this around him? Won't he flinch? And that's where the real fire starts, not in her body, but in her mind, because women fall in torso not just from physical stimulation, but from psychological express. And when her body reacts without her permission, while you stay fully composite, you become more than attractive. Yub come the trigger, she can't control, she over. Talks then says nothing. Number 6. She overtalks, then says nothing. The final confession. She was chatty, playful, energetic, asking questions, sharing details, and now silent. She's quiet. She's pulling inward. Gestures at her hands. She breaks eye contact. She zones out for a moment, like she's in her own head. What just happened? This is the final phase of internal dire. The moment when her mind becomes so aware of your presence that it short-circuits her ability to hide. It is no longer talking to entertain. She's not trying to impress. She's not on anymore. She's processing that sudden switch from oversharing to retreating. Is her psyche responding to the rising pressure inside of her? You didn't touch her. You didn't escalate. You didn't chase. You just existed. And that existence forced her to confront herself. Now here's where Mossmen ruin it. They panic during thesilence. They think the energy died. Softly force conversation. Make a joke break. The moment don't do it. Because at that silence, that's not awkwardness. It's attraction. Deepening. She's playing Thesini in her head. She's wondering why she can't shake the feeling. She's now aware of every breath, every blink, every second she's near you. This is the moment where your control defines the rest of the dynamics. You don't lean forward. You don't fill space. You just let her sit in the intensity of what you are. Because when she overtalks, she's trying to avoid her own feelings. And when she goes silent, she's finally feeling them fully. That's when she starts fidgeting again. That's when her breathing shifts. That's when she gives you that one long look, then looks away fast, because she knows what's happening. She's wet. She's drawn in. She's craving something she doesn't even understand yet. And the man who knows aloft. This the man who can read the signs, who doesn't pounce, who stays calm through every signal, becomes the man she can't. Stop imagining you've just learned how to read the signs most people never notice enough. Because women hide them, but because men are too distracted to see. But not anymore. You now understand that attraction is silent first dash before it ever becomes spoken. It lives in her legs, in her voice, in her glance, in the way her body shifts. Just beckons. You're still. This is the game few ever play. Because it requires irresistible presence and control. Not manipulation, not tricks, just awareness. More you stay composed, the more hair energy reveals itself, and the more tension you let build without chasing, without flinching, without reacting, the more she will feel you. Without a single word spoken. That's Stoic psychology. That's silent power. That's how you make her wet with presence alone. If this video hit something deep, drop a comment right now. Power excellent. Let others know you've stepped into a new level of awareness. Subscribe for more Stoic truths, psychological fire, and red pill wisdom. Share this with a brother who's still talking too much. And if you want these insights